Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Between aging and busy lifestyles, many women struggle with maintaining their physical and mental wellness. At Aquavita Concierge Healthcare Services for Women, we can help you revitalize your health and reclaim your life. We start from within by balancing your hormones, allowing your body to achieve and maintain desired weight goals. We also specialize in peptide therapies, regenerative medicine, sexual health, and aesthetics in our state-of-the-art facilities. Feel better, look better, live better at Aquavita. Visit aquavitality.com and begin your journey today.
Hello, my paranormal peeps, and welcome back to the Deep Woods Paranormal Podcast. This is our Bigfoot edition. This comes out every Friday, and today I'm going to take a break from going through the different sightings and how to find Bigfoots in Texas. I'm going to go through, because a lot of people through our social media, Facebook, Twitter, on our YouTube channel, Instagram channel, messaged us. Hey, can you talk about this on the podcast? Sure, of course. Can you answer this question? Yes, of course. Now remember, every question I answer is based off of personal experience or what witnesses told me. And I don't share everything witness tells us, but I do share the things that seem credible, if you will. I mean, you get people that just want attention and they say, oh, blah, 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 I saw this, I saw that. They say all the right things because they've done the research. You get down there and you go, okay, well, let's go take a look. And evidence, there's really no evidence. So, that rarely happens, but we do get people that try and say that they've seen things and stuff. Anyways, so let's talk about gifting to start, because somebody asked me, what's gifting? How does it work? Gifting is leaving something for the Bigfoots that they might like, be it creating a rock structure, maybe making your own, like teepee. Sometimes people leave food, and sometimes people leave trinkets or toys, things that they think a Bigfoot might take interest in. So if you've watched our Joe's show, Joe's Bigfoot camp up in East Texas, we left goodies for them. And when we met with David, he showed me different things to leave for them. I never knew they ate sweets. And so Oreos, Chips Ahoy, Nutter Butters. What else did he? PBJ sandwich. And he left grapes and apples, sliced apples, not the whole apple. He left sliced apples. And he took it out in the woods, and he's had luck with that. Now he's gone to the national forest down from where we were at his house and left stuff, and they've never taken it. But he has juveniles on his property. Now, on Joe's property, I'm pretty sure he has juveniles as well. I've seen them on his property. So when I was there, my idea of gifting was the first day. Joe told me, oh yeah, I always see them down by the corn feeder. They're always picking up the corn off the ground and eating it. So I left them corn. I left them a big pile of corn in multiple places. I left apples, full apples, delicious apples. And then I left a bottle of water towards the night because I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're not thirsty. So that was my gifting. Once I met with David and he said, oh, you got to do this. You got to try all this stuff. I did the same thing David did. So if you watch Returning to Joe's Camp on our YouTube channel, you'll see this. I left a whole bunch of stuff for him. I left apples out in the forest. And the next day I was out walking around and hear a tree knock. And we'll get into tree knocks in a second. So basically that's gifting. Sometimes they give first. The Bigfoots give first. They come down to people's homes and they'll take something and leave something. The homeowner's going, well, I know I left this here. I came back and I found this weird stick, but it wasn't just a stick. It was like made into something, or they find a rock, or they find something else of interest. And they go, okay, what in the world? I know this wasn't here originally. So Bigfoots can also gift. They can leave stuff for you as well. And if you're lucky enough to have that happen, that's a really cool experience. I believe that shows trust and that they like you, and they're able to leave something for you. They want to continue to have interactions with you, so they're leaving something for you to pick up and maybe return something in favor. So, all right, here we go. Somebody's talking about the government here. Is the government hiding Bigfoot? All right, so I gotta be really careful how I answer this one. The alien post I put up, Facebook and YouTube, destroyed both those channels. And if you're on our YouTube channel, we've had to start all over on our third account because of that. I mean, it's possible. I've talked to multiple witnesses. One guy was on Edwards Air Force Base, and he said he was a sniper. He was positioned in various places throughout the base, usually on top of buildings or whatever, where you could see the runway and stuff like that, because they wanted to make sure nobody was coming onto the runway or trying to break into the base. And if they were given the green light, they were told to pull the trigger. One night, this gentleman sees what looks like a family running across the runway. But he said, wait a minute. And when he looked in a little closer, he said they were furry. And they were covered with hair. So he called his base commander, and the base commander said, don't shoot, just observe. Supposedly, he told me that later on they found out they got into the tunnels underneath Edwards Air Force Base, and they were there for about 2 hours. They got lost somehow, got in there, couldn't find their way back out. I don't know what they did with them. I've heard from other multiple sources that the government knows Bigfoot's real, and when they're seen too many times in a spot, or there's too much interaction, or the Bigfoot comes in and causes problems, they're eliminated. So if you're asking, is the government hiding something? I would definitely say yes. I would say that they're probably hiding something. People go missing all the time in different places. Are Bigfoot stealing them, or the government stealing them? I don't know. To be honest with you, who knows? But I'm not going to get too much into that because, like I said, I don't want to get in trouble in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so call blasting and tree knocking. And people are asking, how do they make that noise, the tree knock noise? Is it them hitting the tree with their hand? Is it them hitting the tree with some kind of log? Are they punching the tree? Are they just making some kind of loud noise with their mouth? There's a lot of theories out there. The Bigfoot research is all just theories at this point. Again, the military probably has more information than we do. But essentially, I would have to imagine that they're probably using their hands. Now, they could be using their mouth too. I mean, we can make a popping sound. You heard me make a tree knock with my mouth earlier. And imagine an animal 800 pounds or more, their lungs are going to be huge. I mean, imagine me tall, and I'm 6'2", and then imagine me like 6 feet wide. My lungs would probably be huge. If they have lungs, they're probably just screaming, probably just able to make almost any noise at all. Somebody asked, is Bigfoot a skinwalker? I don't know. I'd have to, I mean, I've seen so many Bigfoots. I've had like 40 or so encounters where I can say that wasn't anything else but a Bigfoot, either visual sightings or just some kind of encounter where I could say that was a Bigfoot. There's nothing else I could have been. I don't think they're skinwalkers. And again, this is just my personal opinion. Everybody else has their own theories, which is awesome. I mean, every theory should be researched, in my opinion. There is no bad question, if you will. So no, I don't believe they're a skinwalker. I don't believe they're changing form as they walk or when people see them disappear. These things are like ninjas. I mean, they can be standing there 1 second and then gone the next, just because, number one, they know where everything is out there. They know their territory. That's their living room. if you were in your living room and you had to duck somewhere, you probably know exactly where to go. I'm going to duck behind the couch. Or there's a pillar here. I'm going to duck behind the pillar. Or, hey, I'm going to hide behind the TV. Simple. I mean, they know where everything is. They know if they drop down to a certain level, they're going to be behind a tree or behind a bush or something that breaks up their pattern and basically, so you can't see them, but they can probably still see you. A lot of the time I hear people talk about their Bigfoot encounters and they never saw anything, but they were probably being watched. There was probably at least one Bigfoot, if not more, and they're probably a lot closer than people thought they were. All right. Are they an alien? Now this one, I don't know how far down the rabbit hole I want to go with this, but so every location I've ever been to that has supposed Bigfoot activity, and then I've experienced Bigfoot activity at, and this is only like 3 or 4 places that I can actually honestly say, I know this for sure, is haunted. They have some kind of, there's ghosts or shadow people or some kind of paranormal activity other than Bigfoot's going on there. A lot of the time, those locations are also known for UFO sightings. Now, you've heard of people getting abducted, and supposedly aliens abduct cows and horses and other livestock. Who's to say they aren't grabbing a Bigfoot? I mean, imagine if they're grabbing us, what's more interesting than us? A Bigfoot? So, I mean, I don't know. Again, this is just a theory, a stretch, if you will, a very large stretch. I have no proof of this at this point. But again, that's why we do the research. So, I don't know. I don't know if they're an alien. I talked about Bigfoot. Somebody asked, are all Bigfoot locations haunted? The places where I've had really good Bigfoot encounters, like I said, those 4 locations, I'm not going to name them all, have all had paranormal activity. Ghost hunting. I've done some ghost hunting there, and there always seems to be some kind of ghost. Somebody asked, is the Patterson-Gimlin film real? In my opinion, yes. And the only reason I say that is I was walking out of Black Star Canyon one night, and I told this story probably 100 times on here, but I was walking out one night and I just felt like I was being watched.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woo-hooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And off to my left, there's a barbed wire fence. I'm walking on a single lane highway back to my car because you can't drive any past these gates. And it's just walking only after that. I just walked through the gate, was walking past where you could park your car. And there's an open field on both sides of the road. I was looking out on the left side of me. It says walking straight ahead. And I just felt like I was being watched. So I turn on a very, very bright flashlight, and it's like a headlight. I think it was like 4,000 lumens or something. It wasn't a small flashlight either. So I'm scanning the horizon. I'm going just across this way, and I kid you not, I just spotlighted this thing. It was just standing there. And it was about my build, my height. Wasn't huge. It was probably juvenile. I don't know how old it was or whatever. It was brown in color. Didn't have a huge cone head, but it had a kind of a pointed head, just a slight point, not like you see in older Bigfoots. And it was just standing there watching me as I walked by. And as it basically turned, it literally did the Patterson-Gimlin film where you see the creature walk away and it turns back and looks at them. This thing did exactly the same thing. Exactly. And it covered maybe 30 feet in 3 steps. I mean, it was moving. No, it was probably more like 4 steps, maybe 5 steps. My apologies. I think it had about a 5 or 6 foot gape. For a person in my size, I can't do that. But it made no noise. And it was walking on deadfall and broken, old leaves and stuff like that. It should have made a crap ton of noise, but it didn't. Anyways, I'm running out of time here for this podcast. I'm already at my 15. Can a Bigfoot make you sick? I think the only way a Bigfoot could possibly make you sick, supposedly they have a way to create an odor. Essentially, it's just to kind of scare you away. Some people have reported kind of feeling nauseous after smelling it. They also possibly do, when they do a scream, they could be able to do some kind of ultrasound in their scream. And an ultrasound, I felt it before. In the same similar area, I was walking out of Black Star Canyon. We had been doing call blasts for, 3 hours. And it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. And so we walked out to the gate. And as we got to the gate from above us on the little hill up there, you hear, ah! I mean, I can't even come close to what it sounded like, but it was so loud and it just vibrated your whole body. I mean, we all just literally stopped. And as we stopped, we essentially were like, we just didn't know what to do with ourselves. It stopped us in our tracks. So I finally grabbed an audio recorder and I caught the last second or two of it. Whatever it was, I'm pretty sure it was a Bigfoot. This isn't something I could say it would be anything else, a Bigfoot, because there's nobody else there. 4 o'clock in the morning walking down that canyon. It didn't make us sick, but it did stop us in our tracks. Okay, can Bigfoots mimic humans? Now, here's another story. I talked to somebody, another Bigfoot researcher, and I'd heard a story of a gentleman. He owned a farm. He lived up in the national forest, and this is not Joe, this is somebody else. He was out there tending to his crops, and he knew his wife and his daughter had left for the store or something like that, and he saw them drive away. But then he heard his own voice calling his name, and it just freaked him out. He thought it was a ghost at first, and then it happened again, and it was coming from the woods. Freaked him out. He started to run back towards the house, and as he ran back towards the house, supposedly something followed him for a little bit and then basically did the same exact thing. Kept mimicking his voice. Crazy. I mean, that would probably make me run. First off, my ears would probably perk up, and then I'd probably be like, oh crap, where's my camera? And I'd probably be documenting it, but I'd probably be walking backwards as I documented it, just to give some space between it and me. I mean, he didn't believe in Bigfoot until he had that encounter. Supposedly he saw the creature when he got to the house. When he got back to the house, he saw it. Do Bigfoots bury their dead? I'm starting to tend to believe that, yes, I believe. Now, this is just, again, my opinion. And you guys got to take this with a grain of salt. For the non-believers listening, or the people that are also in Bigfoot research or whatever. Like I said, everybody has their own theories. This is a theory that I like. I think I've never come across a Bigfoot grave that I know of, but maybe I just wasn't looking. Maybe I didn't know at that point that that's what they did. I think it's a possibility. I think it's something that when they get sick or whatever, maybe the other family members, when he passes, they bury it in the ground so the body's never seen. That explains a lot why nobody's ever seen a Bigfoot body. Somebody asks, do they have 5 toes like humans? I believe so. Most of the prints I've ever found have had 5 toes. Now, that's not to say that they haven't lost a toe somewhere, or maybe they're born without 5 toes. I mean, that happens in humans all the time. People were born with deformities. Maybe they bred with a sibling instead of another Bigfoot from another colony. Who knows? They could have deformities as well. I mean, we've seen Bigfoots all different shapes and sizes and stuff like that. My very first casting of a print only had 4 toes. Had the 4 toes, but it had this weird, like thumb-like appendage that kind of came out the side of the foot and went forward. It was almost like somebody put a thumb on the ground. I do think that most of them are born with 5 toes. I think they also have at least 5 fingers. They may have more, who knows? But that's just what I think. The last question I'm going to answer tonight is, why do Bigfoot show themselves to some people and not others? That's hard to tell. I've had my own encounters forever. When I go back and look at my encounters of Black Star Canyon, and I start to think about all the things that happened leading up to the point where that one Bigfoot decided to show itself, or maybe not purposely show itself, it was trying to scare us away, but got seen by us. I can go back and I can go, okay, my first ever time I was at Black Star Canyon, I saw that 6-foot shadow thing, the big black thing that was standing on the side of the road. It got up 3 steps the road, which is I mean, I couldn't do that. It takes me 5 steps to get across that road. Giant leaps. This thing just casually just walked across the road, turned and went across into the forest, disappeared. Well, I thought it was just a tall shadow person at that point. I didn't believe in Bigfoot. But now I'm starting to think that that could have been a Bigfoot. When it stood up, it was like 12 feet tall. It was tall. And it was big and burly. And it just crossed the road about 20 or 30 feet in front of us. But I never chalked it up to that. The tree knocks. I mean, I was giving a tour one night, and no, it wasn't like that. It was like boom, 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 like somebody shooting at us. We thought it was a shotgun. And then it happened. There was 3 more that happened, and they sounded more woody, like wood hitting wood. I'm like, okay, that's weird, but I never chalked that up to Bigfoot. I just didn't. I think I had a couple other times where I saw something, or I didn't interpret it right. I didn't know what it was. In my mind, I cast it out as not being a Bigfoot. Anyways, guys, I hope this answers your questions. If you want to leave a question for us, or would like to come on the show and talk about your Bigfoot experience, if you're not part of another team, we don't care. We'll have anybody on that has an experience, whether you're another team or whatever. We'd love to hear about it. Go ahead and leave a comment below, and we'll take a look. Or if you're on our YouTube channel, go ahead and leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. Also, you can contact us through Facebook, our website, or on Instagram. We post there a lot now. We're also on TikTok. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.